Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the Tryonic Feel 3.7 Pro Level Back Protector. Now I have Andrew standing here to my left. I'm going to immediately spin him backwards so we can see the protector. Go ahead, Andrew. And what you're going to see is a back protector that stands out to us for a few different reasons. For those of you new to Tryonic, Tryonic actually has been making back protectors since the mid-2000s, and the founders of that company were actually involved worldwide as part of the standardization process for the CE level certification for back protectors. So EN 1621-1, EN 1621-2, which is a level 2 certification, they were part of that mix. So they've taken that technology and taken their findings through that certification process. And what they've done is they've built a series of back protectors, and really this is the Feel 3.7, which is the top end one. And what they've done is they've translated that technology and that knowledge into a great mix of factors that's both protective, it's going to be ventilated, it's also going to be very comfortable and adjustable. So let's start with the protective elements and really jump right into the 3.7. 3.7 refers to the amount of energy that on average through the CE certification level 2 test is transferred to the body. Most people know that, they know there's certifications out there. The easy way to break it down is CE level 1 back protectors on an average of 5 impacts with a 5 kilogram weight from a meter, the average can't be above 18 kilonewtons. What you have with CE level 2 is you cut that in half and you take it down to 9. So the average of 5 strikes can't transfer more than 9 kilonewtons to the body. The beauty of the 3.7 is the way that it's designed is that it comes in less than half of that standard. You're looking at 3.7 kilonewtons transferred to the body. So why is that number important? There's actually a whole sect of doctors out there that have come out and said, you know what, 9 is the safety standard. 9 is a very important number for the amount of impact and force that the human body can take to the spine. But really, for a higher degree of safety, we really like the number of 4 as being a target number. And really right now, to the best of our knowledge, as far as back protectors go that release specs, there are really only 2 protectors on the market that come in under that magic number of 4. The Tryonic Feel 3.7 is one of them. So if we look at the protective qualities across the back, you're going to have this PU or injection molded plastic shell. On the inside of it, you're going to have an EPS, which is a type of it's a type of styrofoam, which actually is the piece that's going to absorb most of the impact. I will note that these back protectors are a one and done, which means the way that they're designed, to absorb and deflect the shock of a hardcore crash or when you're really going to need it most. Once this thing saves your hide, you're going to want to go out and buy another one because you've used it up. What will happen is the foam inside could potentially break down. The other elements that we're going to see is we're going to see different elements from a comfort standpoint. We're going to into that in a second. But the other thing you notice are these blue, almost these discs. And they're really not discs, they're just linkages as we see kind of creating this armadillo effect down the back, this armor plating. And the nice part about the disc is not only if you can see, Andrew, what I want you to do is I want you to turn and face that wall over there. Turn this way for me. You can see this following the contour of Andrew's back here. So you see how it has that slight S to it. Now turn backwards and face the helmet wall for me, Andrew. But the other thing I want to note, and this kind of gets into the comfort aspect, is this one of the few back protectors that we have that allows range of motion and flex side to side or laterally like that. So again, having these linkages, which is this blue rubberized material that conforms within this safety spec, it's a nice feature because it allows you a better range of motion. One other thing to note, and this is a great factor from Tryonic, they've been designing protection for both motorcycle as well as the ski and snowboard world. This blue material, which is slightly more rubberized and slightly more flexible, is actually stable down to -20 degrees Celsius. So if you ever decided to take your moto back protector out on the ski slopes or snowboarding for a bit, it can get really cold. You're not going to get it. It's not going to become rigid. You're not going to have that. Sometimes with plastics, you get that brittle quality as the temperature starts to drop. So they've gone way overkill. You're probably freeze and die at -20 Celsius before this thing's going to break on you. So as we look at it here from the main components, and remember, this is the insert, or this is the standalone back protector. There's also a vest version that comes with a cool mesh or a mesh vest that lives with it. You also have some other properties, and the properties that are on the inside of the back protector, as you can see on the outside, we have all of these vents that are going to allow it to breathe, but in the inside of the back protector against your body, you have Cool Max mesh. And what that mesh does, it's antimicrobial, it's wicking, but it allows for air to flow freely through the mesh, through the holes in the styrofoam or the polystyrene or the EPS material that's inside, and then out through these exhaust vents. So it's going to give you a great chance to stay cool and stay comfortable. Also, with all the other finishing components here, the way that they're designed, it's a soft material, so if it comes in contact with your skin, it's going to be really nice. There are also some temper foam or dense foam pads that make up the outer perimeter of the back protector, which give you a little bit of an air gap between your back, the center of your back, and the protector, and that space really allows the air to move more freely as well. So we've talked about safety. We've talked about flexibility, range of motion. Let's talk about and ventilation. Let's talk about the comfort aspect. So we've talked about the cool mesh, the comfort aspect on the back, the amount of flexibility laterally. Let's bring Andrew around. Let's face the camera for me for Andrew. Let's walk through the front of this guy. What you're going to notice is that we have adjustments here at the top. We have these are elasticated bands, but one of the nice parts about Tryonic is that you have, on a lot of back protectors, we get these micro elasticated straps here on both sides. But the nice part is this, hold that side up for me real quick. The main connector around the belly is going to be, it has a ton of adjustment. There's more adjustment on this guy than we see on a lot of its competitors. So this side is going to be static on the right side, and this is the over-the-top side. On the left side, what you're going to see, I'm reaching across you here, is that this piece has adjustability built in so that you could lengthen and shorten the amount of distance that you have to get all the way across your gut. So depending on how big of a guy, because what you want to do is the contact patch for the Velcro, it's wider in certain areas. You want it to be right in that sweet spot. So what you're going to do based on your waist, and Andrew's a thin guy like I am, so we probably ratchet it down to the smallest setting. But depending on how you're built on the sides, through the waist, how your belly sits, you're going to really be able to adjust this guy out so that you get the sweet spot and the most amount of Velcro contacting it so it stays in place of where it's supposed to be. And again, that is not only is that a comfort feature, that adjustability, but it's also a safety feature. Turn and face that way for me one more time, Andrew. I also want to show, lift your arm up. There's another connector here that goes around the side of your chest, around your serratus and your lat, and it comes around and it creates additional support here in the back. So you're going to see that multiple areas here of connection. So you have your micro adjuster, you have your adjuster that goes across your waist. This guy would cinch down and keep it that much tighter. Then you have an additional support panel, and then you have your top shoulders. Now turn backwards for me, Andrew. Let's talk about fitment. There are 3 sizes of the Feel 3.7 currently available in the US. Andrew is actually wearing a size large. Andrew's 6'1", he's about 175, 42-inch chest, but the number you need to home in on is height. At 6'1", Andrew's right in the sweet spot for this large. The large is going to take you 5'11" to really 6'4". It's 180 to 195 centimeters, and that's going to be your height. Your medium is 5'7" to 5'11". Your small is going to be 5'3" to 5'7". And what that's doing is when you see these next to each other, you see the pictures on our website, it's actually the lumbar supports that add and subtract links to get it to be the right level. Now we have this on Andrew, and you might look at it and think it's ratcheted down. What you want to make sure, and if you're trying this on, is you don't want to get any interference at the top with your helmet, because think about the race position, you're going to be bent over. And then when it comes down, the correct height should be have this guy ending just around your coccyx bone. That's your tailbone. You don't want it to go too far down into, lack of a better term, into kind of your backside, where your backside begins. You want it to end in the appropriate space so it's not constricting at the bottom, it's not being pushed up into the top, and it's not getting in the way of your helmet. And again, that's something that we can help you out with. There are ways that we can take some different measurements. If you're worried that you have an extra long torso or an extra short torso compared to your height, you're definitely best to reach out to us, just give us a ping, and we're going to help you through maybe some other ancillary measurements over the phone or via email. We can home in and make sure you're getting the right one. But as a rule of thumb, if you're an average build, if an average proportion of your torso to your legs, most of the time those sweet spot measurements for these 3 sizes of back protectors, for height-wise should be fine. And then the amount of adjustability across the front and in the shoulders, will get anybody from a bodybuilder to somebody who's even thinner than Andrew and I into this guy. So turn back around for me, Andrew. So remember, there's a vest version of the Feel 3.7 for those of you that like the vest option. There's also going to be a full line of Tryonic eventually available on RevZilla.com, revzilla.com/Tryonic. We want to hear what you think about the Feel 3.7 as it relates to our line of back protectors. Leave us feedback on YouTube, on Facebook, on the product page. If you're currently wearing it, let us know what kind of experience you have it by like or disliking the product. As always, any questions via email at cs@revzilla.com or 877-792-9455. And it's going to be right around that. It's going to be just under $200, so you're looking at Free shipping, free exchange. Send it back to us, no restock fee if you need to, and you can earn TeamZilla cash to be applied on all future purchases over $100 at RevZilla.com. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the Tryonic Feel 3.7 Pro Level Back Protector, available at RevZilla.com/Tryonic. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.